Russell Barnett Ford of Tullahoma is proud to present The Shasteen Show from London's in downtown Tullahoma. Brought to you by Southern Community Bank, Rogers Insurance Group, and Mission Collision. Now, here are your hosts, Scott Shasteen and Ken Keller.
Well, it has turned into an absolutely beautiful Monday afternoon. Welcome into London's downtown T-Town and this edition of The Shasteen Show. It is mid-August. In fact, I guess it's late August, and it's football season. We have got a week of high school football to report on, a week of high school football to preview. We're going to talk some Titans. We're going to talk some Vols. We're going to talk some Brent Snedeker. What a performance by him this weekend. But we start off tonight by dedicating this program to our good friend Rusty Reed. Rusty passed away on Saturday. He was the owner of Jack's Radio in Shelbyville, WLIJ, flagship station there. He was the voice of the Shelbyville Golden Eagles for all sports. I've shared a press box with Rusty for a long time, talked to him Thursday. He looked good, felt good. Heading into Thursday night's game, Tullahoma and Shelbyville, in the press box there at Wilkins Stadium. Headed to Destin for a fishing trip over the weekend. And honestly, I haven't gotten a lot of details, but he collapsed, passed away Saturday morning. To my knowledge right now, arrangements are not yet set. They may be, I don't know. But this show dedicated to Rusty Reed. Ken, that's just terrible. I mean, Rusty, 47 years old, and just like that, it's over.
Shocking news.
Shocking news.
I'm sorry for you.
You did Shelbyville basketball, baseball games, maybe. Rusty was there. I don't know if you met him or not, but he was there.
Yeah, I've seen him. I did not see him Thursday night as you did, and it's just, it just shows you how fragile life is, Scott. It's like a vapor or a mist. Here today, gone tomorrow, and our thoughts and prayers are, condolences to Rusty's family that he's left behind, and a great legacy of sports, announcing and broadcasting over in Shelbyville, and ironic, calls his last Tullahoma Shelbyville game. That's how quick life is.
And so, I don't know what those stations are going to do. Just started the football season here, the sports calendar, so they're going to have to find some way to fill that void. But we definitely dedicate this show to Rusty Reed. And as Ken said, our prayers and sympathies go out to his family and the folks in Shelbyville. I know that's a big loss for the Shelbyville community. So we'll do a good show tonight in honor of Rusty. How about that? We start out talking high school football, Kim. We start out with the Tullahoma Wildcats. Congratulations to the Shelbyville Golden Eagles. They put it on the Cats Thursday night, 31-13 final. Shelbyville beats Tullahoma. Had about an hour and a half lightning delay at halftime, so it was over really late. We watched the broadcast, some of it last night on LightTube Channel 23, and sounded like it was 11 o'clock at night toward the end of it.
It did, yeah. I guess I got home around midnight that night. But, it started out a lot like last year's game. Explosion early, lots of points. Tullahoma had a 13-10 lead early in the second quarter, Scott. But after that, Shelbyville owned the game. Both lines of scrimmage clamped down on Tullahoma's run game. And, only 7 points scored in the second half. Tullahoma just could not muster a whole lot offensively after that 13-10 lead.
Yeah, so we'll break down that game in a little while and focus on it. Right now, let's go through scoreboard of last week's high school games. And just comment a little bit on these scores. Maplewood beat McGavock 42-21. No surprise there. The Firebirds picked as one of the top teams in Class 4A. Only surprise, if you want to call it a surprise, is when a team that's in a lower classification beats a team in a higher classification. And Maplewood, a 4A team, beats McGavock, a 6A team. McGavock's the biggest school in the state of Tennessee, by the way. But Maplewood's got a great football team.
They do, yeah. And, they're picked to win Tullahoma's Region 4, 4A. And they did not disappoint Friday night. Strong start for the Panthers. Got
a chance to watch an excellent ball game. I don't know if you saw any of it Friday night. But Cane Ridge beat Marshall County in overtime, 35-28. Marshall County led for much of that game. They have adjusted well, replacing Bryce Wallace at quarterback. They went with a young sophomore, and for the life of his name, I can't remember his name, but he performed very well. I tell you, they went into a power I for much of that game, put an offensive lineman at fullback and then a couple of guys, and they just pounded on Cane Ridge, just laid on them over and over and over. And then toward the end, when Marshall County was down, that sophomore quarterback pulled out about a 60-yard run. So they've got some diversity in their game, and they're going to be a real test for everybody that plays them. But Cane Ridge, played for state championship last year, and they're a little bit down, but they've got a lot of athletes. Anyway, that was a great game there.
Yeah, and they came out in the Tennessee poll that came out preseason last week before the games. Cane Ridge, the 13th best team in the state, so only beats Marshall County by 7 points. And you said not much slippage. Marshall County loses Bryce Wallace to Giles County. Not much slippage at quarterback. I was hoping for more slippage.
Yeah, me too. They're just so big on that offensive line, and when they line up in that power I, you got three backs, quarterback. That's a lot of blocking. Yeah. That's a lot of beef. Put that offensive lineman in front there.
Well, and what me and you talked about was, that we didn't think Marshall County had a whole lot of time to adjust. The decision by Bryce Wallace to leave only just a precious few weeks before the season. They adjusted well, it looks like.
Hey, Thomas Osteen does a great job in Lewisburg. Yep. And we're going to find out, because we're going to go to Lewisburg next week and see just exactly what the Marshall County Tigers have. Nolensville beat Fayetteville 41-28. That should happen. Nolensville is now a huge high school. They're playing at the 4A level. Fayetteville's a 1A school. They should beat Fayetteville. They do. I'm a little surprised they gave up 28 points to the Tigers.
Yeah, pretty competitive game right there, 13 points. Of course, these two teams played a really good game last season. That Nolensville roster loaded with seniors now, Brandon Wharton Jr., Zach Campbell, Colton Dooley, the big running back. So Fayetteville Tigers put up a pretty good test against them. 41-28, that's not too bad.
I believe I saw where Dooley scored maybe 5 touchdowns in that ball game.
Yeah,
he's doing it again. Yep. Summit beat Spring Hill 12-7, low-scoring, sloppy game there. A little surprised that Spring Hill held Summit to 12 points, but I'm not surprised Spring Hill scored only 7.
Well, in high school, the tendency, the trend now is lots more points. These wide open offenses, these 3 or 4 wide receiver sets, it's up-tempo offenses. 12-7, it's refreshing to see a defensive battle like that. I think both of those teams are pretty good.
Franklin County beat Coffee County 22-14. Now, the Red Raiders led that ball game in the fourth quarter. And some controversy on a two-point conversion in that game coming out of the Manchester camp. But Coach McCurry gets a season-opening win there for the Rebels.
Yeah, some controversy. A certain head coach puts a Twitter feed out there that shows the Franklin County holder with his knee on the ground, which obviously blows the play dead. Franklin County got the 2-point conversion there, took the lead, and I guess took control of the game to win. But that game was a lot closer than I anticipated. I thought Franklin County, they steamrolled last year. They steamrolled Coffee County 36-8. Coffee County had Rozier and Alante Taylor. Not this year, but 22-14. Hey, does Tullahoma have a battle on their hands this week? Possibly so.
I was just testing you to see if we could talk about Coffee County without you mentioning Alante Taylor, but we still can't.
No,
when will we get there? Year 2?
Well, really, think about it, though.
He's going to start at cornerback for the Tennessee Volunteers.
They slaughter them with those playmakers. We thought Coffee County had no chance it was going to be a 30-point loss in this game. They led this game late or early in the fourth quarter. I was very surprised that it was that close.
Yeah, Coach McCurry said he hadn't been that impressed with his offense, and I think that showed. Yeah. We'll preview the Coffee County Tullahoma game, the Coffee Pot, in a bit. Moore County at home beats Cascade 33-0. Cascade coming off a winless season. They look like they could go winless again. I shouldn't say look like, sounded like. Joe Abraham and Tom Abraham on the call there for Whiskey Country, Raider Country 105.1. So I listened to part of that game. Moore County pretty much did what they wanted. Both those teams just going to run it in that wing tee. And Moore County's got community this week, so I think they're going to be off to another 2-0 start.
Yeah, the Blue Raiders took care of business. John Michael Moore, the Tullahoma transfer, scored. Had a nice game for the Moore County Blue
And Dylan
Raiders.
Knight, too, also a Tullahoma transfer. Jennings there at quarterback did a good job.
He was at Tullahoma
for
as
the
well.
Raiders.
That's 3 guys that were at Tullahoma.
Grundy County opens the Tracy Hayworth era with a 21-14 win over East Hickman. Folks on the mountain got to be thrilled.
Yeah, Hayworth goes 1-0. How about that?
That's great.
That is.
Happy for Tracy
Yep.
and Grundy County. Cannon County beat Red Bowling Springs 47-6. And let me just tell you, as an experienced high school football watcher, any weekend that Cannon County and Grundy County win on the same weekend, that's a big weekend.
I think it is.
Because them two programs,
Yeah.
they don't win a lot of games traditionally. Columbia beat Hillwood 49-41. I'm stunned
Wow.
that Hillwood scored 41 points against the Lions.
That's a lot of points in the ball. That's 90 points. That's a bunch.
DeKalb County beat Warren County 19-14. I'm surprised that Warren County played DeKalb County that close, and DeKalb County is not good.
No. Well, somebody had to win that game,
They
right?
did.
Yeah.
Blackman beat Hendersonville 28-10. I thought that game would not be as close as that. Hendersonville obviously has an improved ball club, but Blackman, they got a lot of playmakers.
Oh, they do. They got Trey Knox, who was in the house watching the Tullahoma
He was
game
at
Friday night
Tullahoma
or
High
Thursday
School
night.
Thursday night.
He was. I talked to him. He's going to commit on October the 1st. Could be the Tennessee Vols. He told me his top 5 schools were Penn State, Ohio State, Tennessee, Auburn, and Florida.
Oh, I thought
So,
you said he was going to Alabama.
He said he loves Alabama, but he ran a 4.6 and did not get offered by Nick Saban.
Yeah, that's not good enough to play at Alabama.
A big target, 6'4" wide receiver, no doubt. This guy is a beast. We'll see where he ends up, man. I hope he stays in the SEC versus the Big Ten.
Eagleville beats Huntland 56-26, one of the highest scoring games in the state of Tennessee. The Eagles all over the Huntland Hornets there. East Nashville upset Riverdale 30-22. This was, to me, one of the 2 biggest upsets. East Nashville's got a really good team, but they are a very small school.
Yeah.
Riverdale is huge. There's no way East Nashville should beat Riverdale, but they did.
Well, they're led by Jay Sean Watkins, which is one of the gurus, greats, one of the top 14 players in the state, according to him, on his magazine, which, by the way, he told us Friday night he sold out of.
Sold completely out.
And it was great to see Murphy Fair.
5,822 magazines sold out.
That was the exact number he told us. We saw Murphy Fair at the game. Pre-game, Scott talked to him. I visited with him. Had a great time visiting Murphy. It was great to see him at that Tullahoma Shelbyville game Thursday night to kick the season off.
You know, that's one thing about playing on Thursday is you got a lot of celebrities in the house.
He was in the house. Yes, lots of celebrities in the house.
On this very radio station, 93.9 The Duck, Oakland had its way with Independence 46-7. That was quite a rout for the Patriots there. They were never challenged.
I thought it'd be closer, but the Patriots are the same old Patriots. You know, state championship type material. They're solid.
Yeah, they lost in the semifinals to Maryville last year on a very controversial conversion field goal play. There you're talking about the controversial conversion attempt in the Franklin County Coffee County game. Same type of thing in the semifinals last year. Maryville's kicking the field goal. Their end stands up, obviously moves. Everybody sees him move. They let the play go on. Maryville kicks the field goal and wins it. Oakland starts out strong, 46-7 over Independence.
Yes, sir.
Smyrna beat Laverne 41-0 in our former Tullahoma head coach's check. Oak Ridge beat Hardin Valley 23-7. Maryville beat Knoxville Catholic 31-10. And the biggest upset of the night, Upperman beats Cookeville, one of the largest schools in the state, 23-7.
You picked that one.
My man Joe said that was the biggest upset in the state. I believe it. And the high-scoring game, Bartlett beat Memphis Overton opening night, 63-22. So that is our high school football rundown to open up.
I want to add one
program.
on there of 2 teams that Tullahoma will see. Lincoln County pasted Lawrence County.
They pasted Lawrence County. 37-0.
Yes. Yeah, how about Tim Johnson
That's pretty shocking.
going 1-0?
I believe I picked Lawrence County.
You did?
Folks, don't ride the Shasteen picking train this year. It will lead you into a dark, dark place. We will recap the Wildcats and the Golden Eagles and preview the Wildcats and the Red Raiders when we come back. Driven by Russell Barnett Ford of Tullahoma, live downtown at London's. This is the Shasteen Show on 93.9 The Duck.
Have you heard the news? The Russell Barnett Automotive family has launched its new and improved website. That's russellbarnett.com. With over 1,000 new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from, then look no further than russellbarnett.com. Online service appointments, customer testimonials, and vehicle history reports, this website has it all. We are the largest Middle Tennessee family-owned dealership with 5 locations to choose from. russellbarnett.com, and why buy anywhere else?
Are you ready for some football? Are you ready for cool days and cold nights? We're here warming up to serve our community. Stroop Jacket Refrigeration would like to congratulate the 2019 class of Tullahoma. Go Cats!
Whether your vehicle has 20,000 miles or 200,000 miles, you'll get honest answers at North Jackson Tire and Auto Service. Miss Honey and Jonathan greet you with a smile and explain everything in a language you'll understand, offering bumper-to-bumper vehicle repairs from brakes, exhaust, shocks, struts, and more. Oil changes from $24.95. Tires from Goodyear, Kumho, General, and Yokohama. Get your vehicle treated the way you want to be treated. North Jackson Tire and Auto Services, family-owned, 2009 North Jackson Street, Tullahoma.
Glicken Woods Family Dentistry understands you never get a second chance to make a good first impression, and your smile is an important part of that impression. That's why they put together the most experienced, friendly, and professional staff. Add to that the most sophisticated diagnostic and treatment technology available. The result is a winning smile so powerful you could break ice with it. Visit the smile experts at Glicken Woods Family Dentistry and let your smile be the first thing people notice about you. Glicken Woods Family Dentistry, glickenwoods.com.
Your community matters. So does making sure it's well protected. Because Sally's isn't just a cafe. And Smith's isn't just a flower shop. It's years of hard work and investment.
Hey, new equipment looks great.
And in this moment, you realize your independent auto owner's insurance agent is the right person to protect it. Auto Owners Insurance.
Barrel House Barbecue. What's in a name? Well, Chuck had to call it something, even though they're the home of the best grilled cheese in Tennessee, according to some folks. Yeah, Chuck's Barbecue has been featured on Barbecue Pitmasters, Tennessee Crossroads, and various publications. The great thing is, it's right here in your backyard. Loaded barbecue nachos, loaded barbecue baked potatoes, grilled cheese on crack, smoked chicken salad, and more. What's in a name? Well, Chuck calls it Barrel House Barbecue, downtown Lynchburg.
You're watching The Shasteen Show, presented by Russell Barnett Ford of Tullahoma on LightTube Channel 23 and 93.9 The Duck. Now back to Scott and Ken at London's in downtown Tullahoma.
Shasteen Show. The Rowdy Rascals are in the house. Good to have them. We got a nice crowd here on a Monday night. You need to come down to London's, get yourself one of Tullahoma's finest burgers and a nice cold drink here at happy hour. In fact, one of my buddies from Nashville was heading down here Thursday. He said, what's a good local spot to stop at? I said, if you want the best burger and the coldest beer, you need to go to London's. I don't know whether he did or not, but he was there. So Shelbyville beats Tullahoma 31-13 to open the 2018 high school football season. And, it was, like you said, it was close for the first 12 and a half minutes. In fact, Tullahoma led after 12 and a half minutes, but Shelbyville answered, and then Tullahoma never really seriously threatened again. Shelbyville shut the Wildcats down for the last really basically 3 quarters. Tullahoma punted twice, threw 2 interceptions, missed a field goal, and went for it on 4th down and didn't make it. What changed?
Well, I think, we talked about that 13-10 mark, and scoring the game right there, Scott. We talked about which defense, which front seven is going to clamp down, because Caleb Marsh running the ball at will for Shelbyville, Bryson Corn, 94 yards on 11 carries in the first half for Tullahoma. Which defense the front seven is going to control the line of scrimmage and take over the game. And I think that question was answered, at about that 11-minute mark in the second quarter. From there on, Bryson had a few nice runs after that, but really Shelbyville controlled the game defensively with their front seven, I thought, and continued to run the ball, open up holes. Caleb Marsh, spectacular, ran for, over 200 yards in the game. And, of course, the three-headed monster, Grayson Trammell at quarterback, Golden Shoes, as we called him. We saw him before the game in warm-ups. Malachi Burns, 6'4", 200-plus pounds, the mismatch nightmare for the Wildcat defensive backs. They opened up the run game by playing pitch and catch, and then Marsh had his way up the middle against the Cats all night long.
Yeah, Arius Trice was pretty good, too.
Arius Trice was very good, too. You're exactly right. Number 6. So they have weapons. They answered their questions. We'll see if Tullahoma can answer their questions this week.
Offensively and defensively, those guys consistently made plays. After Shelbyville opened with a field goal, nice drive, 11 plays, kicked a field goal, take a 3-0 lead. Tullahoma came right back, drove 61 yards in 6 plays. The big play in that drive was a 24-yard run by Bryson Korn. He scored on the next play, 6:35 left to go in the first quarter. Korn scored on a 1-yard touchdown. And Race Marin's PAT gave Tullahoma a 7-3 lead. Very nice drive there for the Wildcats. Mm-hmm. Ben Fulton completed 3 straight passes, 4 straight passes. Tullahoma committed a holding penalty, had to overcome that. But Ben Fulton completed 4 straight passes to 3 different receivers, and Korn scored the touchdown from a yard away. But Shelbyville came right back, drove 80 yards again and scored. But, it looked like it was just going to be back and forth because Tullahoma came right back, took the ball at the 34-yard line, drove 66 yards in 8 plays. They scored on the first play of the second quarter on a 14-yard run by Bryson Korn. And Ken Korn must have carried 7-8 Shelbyville defenders into the end zone. He just would not be denied.
Oh, no doubt about it. Loved his aggressive running. I think we made a Jamal Lewis comparison. The guy came out 3 touchdowns last year, 348 yards. He can be a 1,000-yard rusher if he stays healthy. Tullahoma started the game short, safe, controlled passes for the young quarterback, junior Ben Fulton, getting his first varsity start. But when Bryson Korn, from the very first time he touched the ball, he was a man carrying that ball, running downhill for the Wildcats. And after it got to be 13-10, I think I chuckled and laughed. I said, Scott, this game looks a whole lot like last year, but it sure didn't turn out that way as the game unfolded.
The only thing similar to last year was that Shelbyville shut Tullahoma out in the second half. But in the second quarter, after Tullahoma took that 13-10 lead on that drive, Shelbyville came right back. I mean, you got to give Justin Palmer and his Golden Eagles credit. They came right back, drove 87 yards, and scored on a 4-yard run that number 22 fumbled the ball in the end zone. Yeah. Arius Trice recovered it in the end zone. Tullahoma had an opportunity. Samari Lane, give him credit. He forced that fumble, but Shelbyville Trice recovered that in the end zone, and that proved to be the game winner. Shelbyville led 17-13. Never trailed again. We had about an hour and a half lightning delay at halftime. Came out in the third quarter. Bryson Korn ran the ball 10 times in the third quarter for 18 net yards. Tullahoma just could not get offense going. Korn ended up unofficially. Everybody's stats are going to differ. I trust mine. I ain't going to lie to you. Yeah. I trust my stats. I'd have to stat it watching the film, which I'm not going to do. But when you sort of call the game and you're calling out those yard markers and you're writing down how many yards they gained, I think it's pretty close. Korn, I had him 23 carries, 108 yards, a couple of touchdowns. A solid performance. But again, and it had 94 yards in the first half.
Yeah, 94 in the first half. And, of course, Shelbyville's defense clamped down. Couple big plays. Go back to the first half. Tullahoma had that short-lived 13-10 lead before Shelbyville rips off an 87-yard drive. key play in that drive, a 4th and 1 from their inside their own 45-yard line. Justin Palmer goes forth. They run for a 2-yard gain, keep that drive alive. Eventually, the go-ahead and winning touchdown from there. But defensively in the second half, some adjustments. Tullahoma had 44 net yards in the second half last year. Don't know how many we had this year. I don't think it was a lot more than that. You referenced Bryson Corn, 18 yards in the second half. Not only did they clamp down on him, but they played press coverage on our wide receivers and said, all right, Ben Fulton, you're going to have to throw the ball downfield. This dink and dunk, these little screen and out patterns in the backfield are going to stop. You're going to have to challenge our guys downfield and beat us one-on-one, and Tullahoma could not do it Thursday night.
And that's going to be the game plan for the next 9 opponents until the Wildcats prove they can throw the ball deep. So Fulton completes 21 out of 30, 176 yards and a couple of picks. There's a nice inaugural performance by the junior. But Tullahoma is going to have to throw it long.
Yeah, they're going to have to throw it long. And, there were a couple times that he was flushed out of the pocket, threw the ball into coverage, took a sack on one big play that I remember that he could have thrown the ball beyond the line of scrimmage and averted that sack. So he's going to learn these things as he continues to play. I look for big improvements this week, but we did reference during the game, where was Matthew Ross over the middle? He's a weapon over the middle. We need to look for him more, get Race Marin the football, open up the middle a little bit of the defense on the other team, use those guys, more. But we cannot ever get any rhythm established, especially in the second half, Scott, with any drives. These 8, 9, 10, 11-play drives that were characteristic of the Wildcats last year, they were missing last Thursday night. I hope they can come back to us.
Big time. And, look, when I walked in here tonight, the first 2 people that I saw, we're at London's, by the way, downtown Tullahoma, enjoying burgers and beer. Well, not right now, but we will. The first 2 people that I saw said, why didn't they get the ball to number 21 more? I thought he was a big playmaker, speed guy. Certainly was last year.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No doubt. Kobe Burks is a big play player. Tullahoma's got to get the ball to Kobe Burks, Race Marin, and Matthew Ross, all those guys. I thought Hunter Palmer and Hunter Jewell both had pretty good games for the Wildcats. Corn ran the ball well, but it came out in the paper. Coach Olive said that, they really masked the play calling to kind of protect this offensive line. So they're going to have to make some adjustments. Hopefully the lines of scrimmage will get better. They can block better. I think they ran block pretty good. The pass blocking, the pass protection, a little suspect. That's why we had to throw the short passes. Tullahoma's going to have to go a little bit more vertical and make big plays. That's what we talked about before the game. The troops' keys to victory or tools to victory was we're going to have to beat them in explosive plays and big plays. They whipped us in the big play category Thursday night, Scott.
Matt Ross, Kobe Burks, Race Marin, Jacoby Thomas combined to touch the ball 10 times. Yeah. Tullahoma's not going to win if the big play guys combine to touch the ball 10 times in the course of a game. Shelbyville, on the other hand, got the ball to their big play guys. Trice, 10 catches for 133 yards. Burns, 5 for 82. And Marsh ran the ball 22 times for 222 yards. That's production right there. Shelbyville almost 500 yards total offense.
No, that's a recipe for victory against lots of teams. So, yeah, they've got a very potent offense, and their defense played well as well. They've got secondary guys that can match up on skilled players, on wide receivers and tight ends, and they showed that Friday night or Thursday night. And I thought their kicking game was good as well. They kicked the ball better than last year. Their special teams was pretty solid as well. So they played well in all 3 phases.
This Friday night at Wilkins Stadium at 7 o'clock, it is the 93rd edition of the Coffee Pot. We'll have it live on the Rooster 101.5. Be sure and tune in. We'll come back, break down that game, give you some historic Coffee Pot facts. Driven by Russell Barnett Ford of Tullahoma, live at London's. It's the Shasteen Show on 93.9 The Duck.
Have you heard the news? The Russell Barnett Automotive family has launched its new and improved website. That's russellbarnett.com. With over 1,000 new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from, then look no further than russellbarnett.com. Online service appointments, customer testimonials, and vehicle history reports, this website has it all. We are the largest Middle Tennessee family-owned dealership with 5 locations to choose from. RussellBarnett.com, and why buy anywhere else?
Football season is here, and fall is not far behind. And with these fall gatherings come special occasions, anniversaries, birthdays, first dates, and before you know it, the Christmas holiday season is upon us. At Giles Dunn Diamond Company, we offer a great selection of fine, fashionable jewelry, as well as great selection of engagement rings and, of course, diamonds. We offer one-of-a-kind custom-made jewelry for every occasion. Great products and great values guaranteed at Giles Dunn Diamond Company, located on North Jackson Street in Tullahoma.
Are you ready for some football? Are you ready for cool days and cold nights? We're here warming up to serve our community. Stroop Jacket Refrigeration would like to congratulate the 2019 class of Tullahoma. Go Cats!
Whether your vehicle has 20,000 miles or 200,000 miles, you'll get honest answers at North Jackson Tire and Auto Service. Miss Honey and Jonathan greet you with a smile and explain everything in a language you'll understand, offering bumper-to-bumper vehicle repairs from brakes, exhaust, shocks, struts, and more. Oil changes from $24.95. Tires from Goodyear, Kumho, General, and Yokohama. Get your vehicle treated the way you want to be treated. North Jackson Tire and Auto Services. Family-owned, 2009 North Jackson Street, Tullahoma.
Think there's only one way to earn a college degree? It's time to explore your alternatives at Motlow State Community College. With our diverse degree options, variety of course formats, and convenient locations, students can customize a college experience to fit any lifestyle, budget, or schedule. There are countless ways to get the education you need. Come explore them with us at Motlow State Community College.
Do you need more? More golf, hunting, or camping? More basketball, soccer, and baseball? Do you need more football? Do you just need more sports? LightTube's digital sports tier has more sports. Offering 12 additional sports channels for only $3 additional a month? What are you waiting on? Call 455-4515 and get more today.
You're watching The Shasteen Show, presented by Russell Barnett Ford of Tullahoma on LightTube Channel 23 and 93.9 The Duck. Now back to Scott and Ken at London's in downtown Tullahoma.
It is Coffee Pot Week. And you know what? There are a number of people that I know in Tullahoma, Tennessee, Ken Keller. They could care less if the Wildcats go 1-9 every single year as long as they beat Manchester. You know people like that too, don't you?
That sounds like Tennessee fans. If they go, 1-11 and beat Alabama, it's made their season.
I don't know one single Tennessee fan that thinks that way, but I know a lot of Tullahoma fans that just want to beat Manchester.
A little bit on that one,
right?
Partner, right? That's right. That's
you know them people, don't you?
That's exactly right.
They were texting us right after the game. We don't care.
Yeah,
just beat Manchester.
You're exactly right. That did happen. That did happen Thursday night.
92
numerous times
Tullahoma and Coffee County, used to be Tullahoma and Manchester, have played. Tullahoma has won 59 of those games. Coffee County has won 31, and there have been 2 ties. The largest margin of victory for the Tullahoma Wildcats came in 1955 when the Cats won 52-6. That was a Frank Mullins team. In 2016, just a short 2 years ago, the Coffee County Red Raiders won 49-10. That was the largest margin of victory for Manchester. When both teams score 35 or more points, Tullahoma's 21-4. So we'd love to have a 38-36 game. The Cats will win that if that happens.
Man, there were some great trends and stats.
When both teams score 35, actually, when both teams score less than 35 points, Tullahoma is 34-26. So lower scoring game, Coffee County has a much better chance to win. The most points scored, I think I just gave you that. Tullahoma, 1955, scored 52. Coffee County in 2016 scored 49. The most combined points came last year, 83 combined points. Tullahoma won it 42-41. We've agreed that we think it was the greatest coffee pot ever. We won, so how could it be bad? The largest shutout score came in 1988. The Cats won it 42-0. There's 2 games they've tied at the coffee pot. In 64, 7-7, and in 1942, 6-6. They did not play a coffee pot. If you're counting back years to 1924 and saying he don't know how to do math, they didn't play in 1943 and 44. There was a skirmish going on in Europe, and people were busy. In shutouts, Tullahoma's won 17, Coffee County's won 14. Again, the higher the score, the better chance Tullahoma has. Last year, great game, 42-41. Ken, this year, both teams come in 0-1. Tullahoma losing to Shelbyville 31-13. Coffee County losing to Franklin County 22-14. I don't know how we judge it. We know Coffee County lost a couple of great players in Taylor and Rozier. They had just killed Tullahoma 3 of the 4 years. Coffee County has won 2 of the last 3 of these coffee pot games. And in 2014, Tullahoma ended a 7-game winning streak with a 20-7 win. But we've seen this thing. We had a 12-9 ugly thing in 2013. All kind of different things. You just never know what's going to happen at the coffee pot.
Well, this has been a John Olive-dominated series, no doubt about it. Since John Olive's been the head coach, Tullahoma has dominated this series. And I was saying, you was rolling those stats off. I'm sure that there may be a certain head coach in Coffee County listening for some bulletin board material that you might be putting out.
Give it to him, Ken.
But, talking about last year's game, I've just got to go back to that. Man, that was phenomenal. 42-41. Tullahoma was down 35-14 with 9:34 to go left in the third quarter. And I said about that time, Tullahoma was going to have to play a perfect football game the rest of the way out, and they virtually did, winning it 42-41. That's got to be, not only was that the most combined points, as you referenced, that possibly was the biggest comeback probably in the series by Tullahoma, overcoming that 21-point deficit late in the game. John Michael Moore, 2 key fourth-quarter interceptions to preserve that narrow 1-point win. So, hey, I'm all 4 points. Let's have another shootout this week. And as you said, your stats and trends show a shootout favors the Wildcats. I'm all for it.
I'll tell you another great coffee pot game that also happened at Wilkins Stadium. It was 2010. And, I don't often remember games.
Yeah.
They all just blur together to me. But since I happen to have the scores in front of me, in 2010, I believe this was a Jared Davis-led Tullahoma team that got up 14-0 on the Red Raiders, just like that. Coffee County scored 39 unanswered points and led Tullahoma 39-14. You talked about the biggest comeback. Tullahoma then scored 29 straight points and won the game 43-39. That may have been the greatest coffee pot I've ever seen.
That's 25-point comeback versus 21. So you just clipped me on the 2010.
Wait, let me say it again.
Yeah, they came back from 25.
Let me say it again. It was 39-14.
Yeah.
Tullahoma scored 29 straight points, not 25, 29.
Yeah, but they had a 25-point deficit, so they overcame a 25-point deficit. So that is the biggest.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and this was just
biggest
a 21
ever.
Point. Yes. Yeah, you even had that, man. Look, you did your homework.
John Olive is 13-14 all time against Shelbyville. You know that? That is the only constant opponent that John Olive does not have a winning record against. The Golden Eagles have always given the Wildcats fits. On the other hand, he is 20-5 against Coffee County.
That's
Olive,
domination.
20-5. That's pretty strong.
It is.
So what's your pick for the coffee pot, the 93rd coffee pot this Friday night? Who do you think wins, and what do you think the final score is going to be?
I'm going to pick Tullahoma to win. Obviously, I think they're at home. It's going to be a bounce-back game. The stadium will be packed on both sides. We're not going to have a lightning storm this week. We got good weather predicted. I think that Ben Fulton's going to get the ball, get Matthew Ross, Kobe Burks, Jacoby Thomas, and Race Marin involved in the game plan. Tullahoma's going to put up mid-30s this week, and defense is going to show up. We're going to shut them down. I'm going to say 35-16 Wildcats.
I don't think Tullahoma's offense is as explosive as it has been. I certainly didn't see that Thursday night. They're going to have to throw the ball around to get those kind of points. I'm going to go a little bit lower. I do think the Wildcats have better talent here. I think they've got more speed. I think Tullahoma's going to tackle better. In the second ball game, they better or they'll get beat. I'll take the Wildcats 28-24 Friday night in the 93rd Coffee Pot game. All right, there's some other really big games going on in southern Middle Tennessee and around the state Friday night. So let's take a look at some of those and just do some quick picks here.
All right.
Page goes to Nolensville. That's a big rivalry game for those schools up there, though. Page is a little bit down. Now, they're still going to be good. They're in Region 5-5A. They've got some quality athletes, but they lost a lot of players. I'm going to pick Nolensville to go 2-0 here and beat the Page Patriots.
I agree. I like the Knights as well in that game. They're tough at home, and they're a senior team now. So
maybe the most intriguing game, if we weren't going to be at home calling the coffee pot, we would get in the car and head to Shelbyville because Marshall County will go to Shelbyville and play the Golden Eagles. Man, that's two pretty good football teams right there. I'm going to take Marshall County, though, just based on what I've seen. I think they can stay with Shelbyville. I think they can tackle Caleb Marsh. I'm not sure Shelbyville's got the beef on that defense to hang with that big Marshall County offensive line. I'll take the Tigers in a close one.
I tell you what, Malachi Burns and Grayson Trammell can eat any secondary alive. I mean, it's just that guy, 6'4", 6'5", is that much of a nightmare mismatch on the outside or in the slot. But I like Marshall County that close, 28-27. I'm going to say it's going to be 1 point, 1 or 3 points.
East Nashville has got a schedule that nobody is envying to start the season. They played Riverdale in their season opener and beat them. Now they host Maplewood, and I'm going with Maplewood until somebody beats them. I like Maplewood to run the table here. I think they're just really, really good.
I'm going to go with the Panthers as well. I think Maplewood's going to win that game.
Spring Hill struggled to score points in the opening week against a really good Summit team. They're playing another good football team, but they're not going to be Summit. Spring Hill goes to Columbia Academy this week. I like the Spring Hill Raiders to get off the snide and win this week.
I'll take the Raiders as well. I agree with you.
Down in Lynchburg, the Whiskey Country 105.1 crew will be down there in the Whiskey Barrel as the Moore County Raiders host the Vikings from Community up in northern Bedford County. Moore County is going to go to 2-0, Ken Keller. They're going to beat Community. They may beat them worse than they beat Cascade.
Yeah, I like Moore County as well, 2-0.
Giles County at Lawrence County. The Bobcats go play the Wildcats. This is a hated grudge match. This is like Coffee County and Tullahoma almost. Giles County, though, will go down and beat Lawrence County. I said 37-0. They lost to Lincoln County. It was 37-6. Lawrence County, David Marston, great coach, great guy, no talent. Giles County wins easily.
The Bryce Wallace Show will take over. I like Giles County in that one.
Cornersville played for a state championship last year. They're going to have their hands full this week when they host Eagleville, but I like Cornersville to win that football game.
I'm going to take an upset right here. Eagleville, they put up 40 last week, 40-0. I'm going to go with the Eagleville Eagles to pull the upset over Cornersville.
Grundy County, Tracy Hayworth, and the Grundy County Yellow Jackets will travel to Nashville and take on Ezell Harding. Newsflash, Grundy County goes to 2-0. Hayworth stays unbeaten as Grundy County beats Ezell Harding in Nashville.
I like that. I'll go with Hayworth.
What's Ezell Harding got this year?
They got green uniforms like the Jets. They wear green and white.
You know more about them than I do.
Yeah, kind of like
Forest at Fayetteville. Forest, 2 or 3 years ago, Forest was a really strong program. They have really taken a nosedive here. I like the Fayetteville Tigers to rebound from that tough loss to Nolensville and beat visiting Rockets of Forest.
Yeah, they showed well against Nolensville. I'll take the Fayetteville Tigers as well to win that game.
Franklin County travels to Laverne. Laverne, one of those big 6A schools. I don't know. I like Mac McCurry as a coach, and I think the Rebels are going to be better this year. It's tough to go to Laverne and win, but I'm going to take the Rebels on the road.
Oh, I'm going to go with Laverne. Don't disagree with you on that one.
Laverne got beat 41-0 by Smyrna last week.
Well,
right?
they held back a little bit.
Okay. Franklin plays at Riverdale. I don't know what Riverdale has. I know Franklin, huge school with a lot of quality players. I think they go on the road and beat the Warriors.
I'll agree with you on that one.
Oakland at Maryville.
Oh.
If you want a game to see in the state of Tennessee, last week it was Maryville and Knoxville Catholic. This year it is Oakland at Maryville. If you're ever going to drive 3 hours for a high school football game, this is the night to do it. It's a rematch of that semifinal game from last year. You think Oakland doesn't want a piece of Maryville? You think Maryville doesn't want to defend their home territory against the Oakland Patriots? This is going to be great. I like Oakland to go to Maryville. They beat Maryville in the regular season last year. They'll beat Maryville in the regular season this year. Oakland wins it right here on 93.9 The Duck.
Oh, this is a great matchup right here. I venture to say that Murphy Fair will probably be in person at that contest this week, but I like Scott's pick. I'm going to take the Oakland Patriots to get revenge over Maryville, who won the state championship over them last year.
White County may be the worst high school football team in the state of Tennessee, except maybe for Cumberland County. They both come off 0-10 seasons last year. They both got shut out in the season opener. Warren County travels down, 1170, whatever that highway is there, from McMinnville to Sparta. Warren County at White County.
Oh,
I can't believe I'm doing this. I can't believe I'm picking the Pioneers to win it, but White County is just that bad. Somehow Warren County wins it. It might be like 5-2 or something. I'm taking Warren County. You got to take White County. You got to take the Warriors.
I've got to take White County.
They're at home, man.
3-0.
As we check on former Tullahoma coaches, Oak Ridge will host Dobbins-Bennett. Greenville absolutely boat raced Dobbins-Bennett last week. Joe Gaddis and his Oak Ridge Wildcats will beat – are they the Wildcats? Yeah, they're the Wildcats. Will beat Dobbins-Bennett. The Indians on Friday night. And Steve Matthews and Knoxville Catholic host Baylor out of Chattanooga. I like Catholic to get back on the winning track there. Oak Ridge and Catholic both win Friday night.
I'll
what do you
agree.
think?
Give me Gaddis and Steve Matthews, the two former Wildcats.
Lincoln County and Huntland are both off this week, so there's a preview of this weekend's high school football games. Once this replay starts showing and these games get played, it's great to sit and watch us like on Saturday and Sunday, watch the replay, and just see how many of these we missed. It was hilarious watching it last night to see us talking about how great the Wildcats were going to do against Shelbyville, and they laid a big egg. All right, that's our high school football wrap for the week. We'll come back, touch on some other things that we want to get to here on this edition. Driven by Russell Barnett Ford of Tullahoma, live downtown at London's. You're listening to The Shasteen Show on 93.9 The Duck.
Have you heard the news? The Russell Barnett Automotive family has launched its new and improved website. That's russellbarnett.com. With over 1,000 new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from, then look no further than russellbarnett.com. Online service appointments, customer testimonials, and vehicle history reports, this website has it all. We are the largest Middle Tennessee family-owned dealership with 5 locations to choose from. russellbarnett.com, and why buy anywhere else?
Do you need more? More golf, hunting, or camping? More basketball, soccer, and baseball? Do you need more football? Do you just need more sports? Light Tube's digital sports tier has more sports. Offering 12 additional sports channels for only $3 additional a month. What are you waiting on? Call 455-4515 and get more today.
There's always something going on at the place for barbecue in Lynchburg, Barbecue Caboose Cafe. Enjoy great pork barbecue, smoked chicken, Cajun red beans and rice, jambalaya, barbecue pizza, and more. Folks worldwide have enjoyed the fair. Stan and Betty from Australia said thank you for your hospitality and can't wait to come back. Judy from England said can't wait to go to the Caboose again. You'll love it too. Lori and the Barbecue Caboose, Town Square, Metro Lynchburg.
Your community matters. So does making sure it's well protected. Because Sally's isn't just a cafe. And Smith's isn't just a flower shop. It's years of hard work and investment.
Hey, new equipment looks great.
And in this moment, you realize your independent auto owner's insurance agent is the right person to protect it. Auto Owners Insurance.
Are you ready for some football? Are you ready for cool days and cold nights? We're here warming up to serve our community. Stroop Jacket Refrigeration would like to congratulate the 2019 class at Tullahoma. Go Cats!
Football season is here and fall is not far behind. And with these fall gatherings come special occasions, anniversaries, birthdays, first dates, and before you know it, the Christmas holiday season is upon us. At Giles Dunn Diamond Company, we offer a great selection of fine fashionable jewelry as well as great selection of engagement rings and of course diamonds. We offer one-of-a-kind custom-made jewelry for every occasion. Great products and great values guaranteed at Giles Dunn Diamond Company, located on North Jackson Street in Tullahoma.
You're watching The Shasteen Show, presented by Russell Barnett Ford of Tullahoma on LightTube Channel 23 and 93.9 The Duck. Now back to Scott and Ken at London's in downtown Tullahoma.
Partner, I have no idea what that says.
Cat scratch fever, man.
Cat scratch fever. Welcome back to London's in downtown T-Town as we wind toward the end of this August 20 edition of the Shasteen Show, 6:52 here on 93.9 The Duck. And Ken, next week when we come in here and sit down, not only are we going to be talking high school football, but we're going to be previewing college football games because that weekend we're on, baby. It's on.
It's on, like Donkey Kong.
It's on.
You know, I'm kind of vacillating. Is that a word?
Yeah.
Going back and forth between Tennessee and West Virginia. I mean, the positive news is coming out of Tennessee camp. I'm buying the Kool-Aid a little bit.
And negative news coming out of Mountaineer country.
I mean, what they got?
They're losing people left and right.
They got 5 players with hand, foot, and mouth disease. I don't even know what that is. They canceled fan day. The fans are ticked off. So some things trending towards the Vols. They might just run the ball right down West Virginia's
10.5-point underdog.
Look, there's some big games in week one. We're going to really get into these.
They were 7-5 last year.
Yeah.
Why are they everybody's Cinderella story?
I'm going to tell you why in just a second because of the trends here from the AP Top 25. But just the week one games, we'll get into these next week. But Michigan, Notre Dame, Auburn, Washington, Alabama, Louisville. Bobby Petrino talking smack. He says we're going to beat Alabama. Their wide receivers say none of the defensive backs can cover them one-on-one. We're going to see about that one. West Virginia and Tennessee. Tennessee a big underdog. That thing grows. Started out about 8 points, now 10.5. And LSU, Miami, I'm really looking forward to that game between Mark Richt and Ed Orgeron. I think those are going to be 5 great games. But of all the underdogs, I'm starting to think Tennessee. They haven't lost a home opener since 2008. They lost to UCLA 27-24. They've won every home opener since. I think if I was a bet man, I would bet on the Vols and take that 10.5 points.
I want to know who's playing at 11 o'clock in the morning and who's playing at 11 o'clock at night.
This is going to be Scott. He's going to have a recliner out in the popcorn, watching game day at 8 o'clock.
I always say that.
Around.
I can't do it. I have to get up and go out. I can't do it.
So the AP Top 25's out.
It did come out, and to everybody's surprise, somehow, little old Alabama made it to the top.
They made it to the top.
I don't understand.
But let's just start right here. And you talked about West Virginia, but we're going to get to them in just a minute and look where several Vol opponents are. Here's we look at this top 25 snapshot real quick.
Isn't this about Alabama? They're number one.
No, it's not about Alabama. We can't drink the Kool-Aid too early. It's a process, man. We got to play this thing out. So,
did you see Kobe and Nick talking about the process?
Oh man, it was great. Kobe was fabulous.
Yeah,
Nick had his ink pen out taking notes.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
So let's look at the top 7 teams real quick. You got Alabama at 1, Clemson 2, Georgia 3, Wisconsin, Hornibrook, the quarterback, Big offensive line, stud running back. Ohio State at 5. I think Urban Meyer's going to get cleared. He's going to have a 2-game suspension. The Washington Huskies, they open up with Auburn. Oklahoma at 7. So why did I give you these top 7 teams? Because the last 14 years, since 2004, there have only been 2 teams ranked outside the top 25 on the first poll that has won the national championship. That was Auburn in 2010 with Cam Newton and Jameis Winston, the Florida State Seminoles, who were ranked number 11 in 2013.
Now, you said top 25. I think you meant top 7.
I'm sorry, yeah, the top 7. Yeah, I'm sorry. Auburn was ranked 22, and Florida State was ranked 11. So outside the top 7, those 2 teams won the title. Does not happen very rare. So what teams, I tried to look at that today and say, okay, what teams outside the top 7 got a shot to win a national title, okay? This is why West Virginia are the media darlings. They're ranked at number 17. They are projected to be second in the Big 12 behind the Oklahoma Sooners. They got Will Grier, a Heisman Trophy candidate. Tennessee can blow their season up the first game, and I think it's possible that they could do that. So you've got 8 through 10. The Miami Hurricanes at number 8, that big showdown as we mentioned against number 25 LSU. Auburn Tigers, watch out for them at number 9. Jared Stidham at quarterback, strong defensive line, good running game. And the Penn State Nittany Lions coming at 10. So that's your top 10. Scott, I want you to take 11 through 17 and tell me who you like out of there is a wild card to possibly get in the playoffs.
None of them have a chance to get in the playoffs, but I guess if I have to pick one as a wild card, I'll say that suddenly, out of nowhere, it all begins to come together for Jim Harbaugh and the Michigan Wolverines, the team I hate more than any other college football team. I'll say Michigan has the best chance, 11 through 17, to sneak up there. Because, look, if they get to winning, then they're going to move them up so fast that your head will spin. Reese Davis will be on there, and Chris Fowler. They'll just be drooling all over themselves about Michigan. So I say Michigan.
That's a great pick, and they've got a certain quarterback named Shea Patterson that transferred from Ole Miss that can sling it around. Best quarterback in the khaki era for Jim Harbaugh. So friendly reminder here of teams outside the top 13 that made the college football playoff the last 3 years. Last year, Georgia Bulldogs started out number 15, made the playoffs, made it to the national championship. 2 years ago, 2016, the Washington Huskies started out at number 14. They made the playoffs. 2015, the Oklahoma Sooners at number 19 made the Final Four. So these teams here, 14 through 19, here they are. Michigan, Scott just mentioned Michigan, USC, Texas Christian, West Virginia, Mississippi State, and the Florida State Seminoles. That is 14 through 19. So, Scott, 20 through 25. We got a couple minutes left. Who's 20 through 25 there?
Virginia Tech, Central Florida, Boise State, Texas, Oregon, LSU.
How about Oregon? I like their uniforms. Texas back in the top 25. Central Florida at number 21.
UCF, didn't they lose the hot shot Scott Frost head coach?
Yeah, my son read this to me before it came to 21. So now this is what the Central Florida Knights fans are saying, that they're going to be 2 years in a row number 1.
Back-to-back
That's what that
national
21
champions.
is for them. So we'll see.
All right, that's a rundown of your AP top 25. If you're not in top 10, you have no chance. That's basically the way it is. Tennessee, they're going to go 6-6. The Coffee Pot. Be sure and tune in Friday night, 7 o'clock. We're on the Rooster, 101.5. You can watch the replay beginning right now of Tullahoma Shelbyville on LightTube, Channel 23. We appreciate the crew. Great job tonight. For Ken Keller, I'm Scott Shasteen. Be good to each other.
The Shasteen Show, presented by Russell Barnett Ford of Tullahoma and brought to you by Southern Community Bank, Rogers Insurance Group, and Mission Collision, is a presentation of Bowman Media Company and 93.9 The Duck. The show is taped before a live audience at London's in downtown Tullahoma, Monday nights at 6 p.m. Come join us for cold beer and Tullahoma's best burgers. Thanks for watching The Shasteen Show on LightTube Channel 23.